Welcome to the Sports Show. My name's Patrick Ricci, Lou Nanny, and Sid Hartman. How are you, bud?
You know, Phil Miller had a very interesting column in the Sunday.
I take it. Go ahead. Yeah.
Talking about how last year the Reds finished in last place with the same players. They're in first place or second place this year. And some of those guys are amazing. What they did last year and what they did this year. So I wonder if that could happen to the
Boy,
Twins.
that is the ultimate ray of optimism.
Maybe you're saying last year the Twins were good. Then they did the opposite.
I know, but those guys proved they can.
Okay, so let's take that theory and run with it. Patrick, do you see any reason why these guys just playing a bunch of games would be great?
I would say
yes, I would too.
Boston, because for 3 years it didn't look like he could get the bat, the ball, and now he's a great player. Maybe that can happen with Byron Buxton. But they certainly don't have a Bogart. There's about
Bogart's is about as much fun as I've watched a player this year.
He's a fantastic player. I'll tell you what, if there's one guy you want to be a little bit about after this week is Kepler. Kepler looks like a player.
He squares it up. You just got to keep playing.
He can run. He's an athlete. He's not he's only 23. You can have some optimism about that. What are they going to do if your pitching is just rotten? What difference does it make if you have players or not? That's the problem. Right now, I see no solution with the pitching staff.
Oh, now Louis, we can talk about trades for the trade deadline. Well, what are you going to get back? Single A players that are. I mean, what would you get for Santana? What would you get for Nolasco? I mean, how much can they help you down the road, even if you make trades?
Well, maybe you got to go for draft choices.
You can't do that
in baseball.
You don't have players of value. You can't expect to get much back unless you get lucky, like Ryan did a few years ago, and some of the guys that San Francisco gave up on. But usually, you got to have some quality, get some quality back.
You could trade Santana and Alaska if they were making $5 million apiece, but they're making 12, 13, 14 million apiece. Yeah. That's the problem.
There you go.
Look at the White Sox.
They went out and got.
They're as bad as the Twins right now. They can't win a game. They start out the season.
They went out and got Shields.
That Shields, he can't get anybody out.
Yeah, he's just blown up.
And he gave up a lot for him. And he's got a fantastic salary, too. So how do you figure this thing out? Kansas City is not doing what they did last year.
It'll be a good year to be good in this division.
The biggest surprise to me is Cleveland. They're in first place, and they're averaging 15,000 people a game.
I'm not surprised, though, because that city's been kind of wore out.
Welcome to the Minnesota Twins 2017.
That's right.
If they don't change something.
That's right. That's exactly where
the Twins have fallen about 70, 80,000 behind last year, but when it's over, they're going to be about 300,000 behind last year.
If you look at Cleveland, though, in any sport, the only one that they continually draw well in is football.
The Cavaliers right now.
Since LeBron. But let's go back. When they don't have the man there in baseball, when they had a hockey team, in basketball, they just don't draw like they
People talk about they had the long sellout streak when they first moved into Jacobs Field. Well, they also were winning 95 games a year. They were
great. Told me it was your DH makes all those guys.
Yeah.
Why didn't Cleveland ever make it in hockey?
Well, first of all, I think they had that ring too far out.
Yeah.
But they used to have the American League team would sell out, but they only had 8,000 seats. It was the Euclid Avenue right downtown. But then when Nick Milletti bought the team and he got the team in a WH, the building way out. And
Richfield, right?
Yeah, it's almost closer to Akron than it is downtown. Okay. So, you had farmland around the building. You didn't have...
Okay, so
luckily for them, you gave them a good deal when you split up the roster.
Cleveland was an American Hockey League.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
When you
and they were good draw too.
I don't know who can answer this, Louis or Sid, but I was watching one of these 30 for 30s on the city of Cleveland and how the fans have grown to expect disappointment. Obviously, it's been different with basketball now, but Sidney, when George and Gordon Gunn bought the Cavaliers, was there talk at that time, because of their connection with the North Stars, that they'd move them to Minnesota and play, the North, have an NBA and an NHL team at the Met Center? Louis or Sid, go
what happened was George owned the team with Mel Swig out in Oakland. Swig owned the Fairmont, and they were losing money out there, and the Guns are from Cleveland. So George moved the team to Cleveland. Swig wanted out. So George called Gordon, who didn't want to be involved.
In basketball, now we're talking
No, in
about.
hockey.
Okay.
Before they even got the basketball
Okay.
team. So then they got the franchise. George moved it. So they got. Now, when they were there with the hockey team, Maletti, basketball team, and then he sold it to somebody else, and there was this guy that owned Nationwide Advertising. He gave up all the first-round picks. Remember that?
Yeah, Ted Stepien.
And so they were in desperate trouble. So they sold it to George and Gordon Gunn, but with their league's approval, they get the first-round picks back.
They got their first-round picks.
Right. But better than that, they bought it for about $7.5 million, the whole thing. And the Nationwide Advertising threw off more money than they bought the team for.
Steinbrenner.
But was there any talk of them moving it to Med Center? And
No, then the hockey team, no. Then they're there a very short time.
North Stars and the Cavaliers?
Very short time, and so, you know, the people in Minnesota were losing money, and they wanted out. So they had gone to George to try and buy their team, and George moved the other team to Cleveland. So Gordon and George thought, well, why don't we just buy the North Stars, merge them together, and move it to the North Stars?
Steinbrenner had the first basketball team there in Abe Saprastine's league. And he had Jerry Lucas on there and a couple of Ohio State guys.
Was this an
and
ABA team?
ABL.
That was ABA.
It was
ABA.
before
Yeah,
the
before the
ABA.
ABA, huh?
And I used to talk, they call me all the time about basketball. One of the reasons we got to be very good friends.
Oh, Steinbrenner, you mean?
Yeah,
Because the ABL connection.
he had the ABL team.
Okay. We've got it all sorted out. Take a break, come back.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King, for the best price on tickets. RSM, this is the power of being understood. This is RSM. BMW Minnetonka, choose from 60 certified pre-owned BMWs at BMW of and Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Go to BobbyandSteve.com for huge savings on everything from convenience store items to everything under the hood of your car.
Show her you remember. The Jewelry Exchange has thousands of anniversary bands. Stackable diamond bands are $99. Half-carat rings $249. 1-carat marquee $890. And 1-carat love and friendship $990. Factory Direct. The Jewelry Exchange, Eagan.
Attention furniture shoppers. American Furniture Mart is jammed with name brand furniture at super everyday low prices. A huge selection of sofas from just $2.99 and 7-piece living room groups in the latest styles and colors from $8.99. A large selection of bedroom sets starting at $3.99. Dining sets as low as $2.49 and thousands of area rugs starting at $49. Always a large selection of mattresses at half of what you'd pay at the big chain stores. No phony sales or markdowns, just the best deals on quality furniture for the past 20 years. Furniture you'll be proud to own. American Furniture Mart in Brooklyn Park.
Summer sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Huge savings on pools, patio furniture, spas, swing sets, and more. Summer sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Hey, Twins fans, get Major League laughs with 2.5 Men.
An odor under 15,000 miles and an up to 5-year, 75,000-mile warranty makes it elite. The way it does this makes it a BMW. Introducing BMW certified owned.
Minnetonka.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second to none happy hour, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
There it is. Sid Hartman ate there on Father's Day today. Chad took it there. J.D. Hoyt's Supper Club. Can't go wrong. Little buffet, chop, steak, seafood, all the above for Sydney today. That's why he's so happy and festive tonight here on the show. Welcome back to the sports show. NBA versus the NHL drafts are both this week. Obviously, one is marquee because we know a lot of these NBA players. The NHL is more akin to Major League Baseball, both just as important to the organization.
That's the problem with the NHL. You never heard of those players, but you know all the NBA players. This is going to be a very interesting draft for this team.
Timberwolves, you mean?
I just think that I talked to him a few times. He's traveling all the time. Look at these players. I think they're going to take that kid from Providence if he's available.
I think they'll make a trade. What do you think, Patrick?
Made a big move to Rob.
I hope he doesn't give up the number 5 and a good player for Jimmy Butler. Maybe he will. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a trade, though.
But he's got to know Butler well. He's got to believe in that quite a bit if he does, because he coached him.
You know what? He's going to end up losing his appeal quickly if he gives up Levine and the number 5 for Jimmy Butler.
Unless Butler takes him to another level.
Yeah, but what do we care if, what do we care about the season ahead? You might make the playoffs. We care about 2019, 2020.
I know, but the only thing, Louis, that you could say there is do you get in danger if you congregate too many young players and young contracts at one time?
Yeah, talk to me about that. How about you hear the Edmonton Oilers?
No, yeah.
No, I
mean,
don't think
NBA,
so.
But the cap's going up so high you can keep them all.
I got to tell you, I personally would take the pick at 5 and get another good player. And if you put him with what you got, you're not, as Patrick says, you're not building just for 1 year. You want to go longer. And Butler might take him, say, into the playoffs, but you want to win the championship. So you want young, great players.
Talking to him, he kind of hints he's going to make a deal with Chicago. He's going to get one. They got 3 good free agents. They got
Joakim Noah, Gasol.
Huh?
Butler's not a free agent.
Butler's not a free agent.
The big problem he's got is they want Levine, and he ain't giving them up.
Well, then he's probably not going to make the trade.
I don't know who, unless they want Rubio.
There's a lot of
unless they move Derrick Rose to New York, and now they want Rubio.
There's also Chicago folks saying that the Chicago people don't want to do business. Want to give Thibodeau anything that's going to help the Timberwolves be better.
So. I think you're wrong.
Does that ever happen, Lou?
Well, he might be talking.
Louis, does that happen where animosity overrules prudent business and the?
All those things happen. It happens if you're in the same division. You might want to deal with them. Yeah, sure. Many times you don't want, and it happens. It all depends who the general manager is. Some will deal with anybody, and they're not afraid of dealing with anybody. Others will have personal animosity towards a guy and might want to deal with him.
See certain teams and management make deals together because they must but trades, for example.
Yeah, but they're in different conferences. That's what I'm talking
but I
about.
mean, they must trust each other because to get John Ryan Murphy for that, you got to believe that, right?
Hey, he's hitting down in Rochester. Let me say that Taylor didn't own the Star Tribune. I might suggest that Thibodeau got Rob Moore fired, but I won't.
Don't say that.
Bring that up because
that was a conversation we were having in the car over
there. He wants a guard for sure. He'd like to find a guard who's a combination of a good defensive player and can shoot the three-pointer.
Okay, what about Rob Moore leaving? What impact will that have on the team? Because he was involved in the Timberwolves and Lynx, and now he's moving away from that. What impact for the fans can they look for?
Well, Rob Moore, until he got moved, was in control of the basketball.
So what kind of impact did he have, and what will we see different now?
I don't think it'd have any impact at all. I think he's got some guy he wants to bring in that'll help him sell the team too.
For that position?
Taylor, you mean?
Yeah.
Taylor, who's you say he? We don't know who he is. Who's he?
No,
Taylor?
Taylor.
Or Thibodeau?
Taylor.
Okay. All right.
He ain't gonna sell it right now, but I think he wants somebody who's a little more personality as Rob. Rob didn't get along with McHale. He didn't get along with Flip. He was hired,
David Kahn.
David Kahn. So the job he's got right now is nothing.
What do you mean? You mean he's not going to have? You mean the estate and all that is not a big job?
Gonna handle his money, but he ain't gonna handle his money. Taylor's gonna call the shots.
Yeah, stop. You can stop right now. I think we should end this discussion. Sid and I still both work for the Star Tribune. Let's end this discussion.
All right, when we come back, we'll pick up the NHL draft and transition into the Vikings, because the NHL draft we don't know as much about, but Louis, you can tell us what's important when we come back.
Change, Frank. Same time next week.
When it drives and looks like new, you'll want to treat it like new. Certified pre-owned by BMW.
Choose from 60 certified pre-owned BMWs at BMW of Minnetonka.
You're watching CW-23.
I was going to buy in
Welcome
here.
back to the sports show. NHL draft. Again, we don't know the players as much. How important is this draft to the Minnesota Wild? What do you look for, Louis?
Well, I look for a real interesting pick at 15, because at 15, probably they might have a shot at Kiefer Bellows or Ryan Tufte.
Two Minnesota
kids that are very good players. I do think, though, that there's a possibility. It's ironic because Boston picks at 14, Minnesota picks at 15. When we picked Brian Bellows, Boston picked 1, we picked 2. So I'd given Boston a couple players to leave Brian alone. And whether they were going to do it or not, I was going to take a chance. But it's going to be interesting to see whether Boston picks Bellows if he's there. And I think the only other team that might pick Bellows earlier would be Carolina. But then if it comes to Bellows and Tufte, then I want to see who they pick.
Bellows, is he ready to play in this league?
No, not yet. But he scored 50 goals with the juniors this year, and Tufte got 49. Tufte's about 6'4", 6'5". Kiefer Bellows is going to be 6'1", probably. And Kiefer can really score goals. Tufte's a bigger kid. He's a wing. Kiefer's a center. I know the Wild could use a center scorer eventually, so it's going to be interesting to see.
They don't have many draft choices, do they?
You don't need many. You need the right one.
Hey, the big kid from BU
You don't need many.
signed,
You need the right one.
The big
Tuck,
kid
yeah,
from
he's
the so he won't be playing with this other
most of the
kid.
draft choices.
Yeah, but they got 4. A lot of the draft choices don't make it. You want to make sure when you get one in the first round, you got to get somebody who's going to play.
What's success for teams? I wonder if for the NHL.
Oh, it's really high. It's really high.
But I guess what's success too, right? Making it or making it for
Well,
a
that's
while.
it. What's success? But playing the NHL. And it's, I think
Benoit
it's 69
Poulet,
or
is that
79%.
success?
That's what I mean.
Well, he's still playing.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, there's a difference between being high impact and.
I mean, you're talking about whether a star or not. As long as you get somebody to play, when you draft a guy, you want him to play.
Yeah.
And play for a long time. Well, the NHL's success rate in the first round is pretty darn high.
Okay, let's move on to the Vikings. I heard Mike Zimmer talk about an interesting stat today that I had not heard before. Talking to you, said the Dallas Cowboys, when they moved into their new stadium, went 0-8 at home. Did you know that?
First year at home?
Yeah.
Really?
And that beautiful pair.
Romo get hurt?
And no, he said they're 8-0 on the road and 0-8 at home.
I'll have to look that
no
up.
quarterback most of the season.
Maybe that was it, but it's an interesting statistic.
Yes,
If the quarterback was hurt most of the season, that was their problem. Vikings won't be in 0-8. I'm not that 100% sold on the quarterback yet.
Right, because you still think Ponder should get a look.
Ponder's got nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I just know if he's ready to really lead a team, He led them last year to the division title. I think they got the best coach in the league. I think they'll have the best defense.
You think he's
in the
better than
league.
Belichick, huh? You think he's a better coach than Belichick?
Huh?
You think he's a better coach than Belichick?
In the division.
Oh, division. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay, so you like him going in?
I'd take
Everybody does.
McCarthy might be okay too, but
Yeah.
that's okay. All right. I don't know anything about them except I think they showed a little bit of overconfidence and complacency by canceling the last day of minicamp. It seems to me like they're a little overconfident here. I don't know.
I got to tell you though,
I'm very upset.
I was in a lot of I've been to a lot of mini camps this year.
I think their quarterback could have used another day of practice. Damn it.
I go to mini camps and OTAs, and man, does it look the same real quick.
That'd be something. The Green Bay comes in there, opening game, and beats the heck out of them.
Well, who knows? But that's going to be some kind of night.
I'd like to have Louis tickets for that game and sell them.
Yeah.
Are you going to sell them or keep them?
I'm going to keep them.
Okay.
But I got to tell you, I like the Vikings. I like what they've done. I like the looks of this team. I think it's going to be an exciting year.
They're boring right now. They've got stability. There's no.
We need a couple of rests
major
here.
issues.
We got,
we got
6
nothing.
weeks off.
Adrian's going to be here.
We got 6 weeks off. We can get a couple guys arrested. I got confidence. We need an arrest.
No.
They're going to have a heck of a time cutting this team.
No.
They got a lot
53-man
of
roster.
good football players.
Right, but it doesn't matter. You get to 53.
53.
The guys you cut aren't impact players anyway.
What he's worried about is he wants to, like the kid from Eden Prairie.
Carter Bykowski, my neighbor. He lives 4 doors from me.
Really?
They think he has a chance to be outstanding.
He's
but
been
he's
hurt a little
not
bit.
ready to play right now.
You think
they want to
football's-
find a way to keep a guy like that.
You think football's changed a little? I was reading I was writing that thing for OJ today. 1968, he comes to play the Gophers. John Rowe's story said both teams have tremendous size in the offensive line. Gophers average 231 and Southern Cal 226.
That was amazing.
Back when they were getting after it pretty
Now
good.
they had 331 and 326. Man alive.
Yeah, I've been watching some of those OJ profiles.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Or, I mean, documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
That is one kind of life he lived.
My favorite part is that when the jury was coming through the house, he had all these pictures of him with polo players and white golfers and everything, and by the time Johnny Cochran and his guys got done, they made it look like a wing of the Negro League's Baseball Hall of Fame.
I'll tell you the other good one that I hadn't seen before was they had his videotape when they came to get all his belongings to take away because he had lost the lawsuit, and OJ comes out and takes the flag down, and you go, okay, that's kind of it, and then you see he does it again. And again, he's trying to make it look like this camera's intruding, and he's got tears in his eyes, and he's taking down the flag as his last. And you realize what a.
I think the biggest plus is he got John Sullivan.
John Sullivan and Lodeholt.
Huh?
Lodeholt too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they got Berger, can play another position. The offensive line is going to be much, much better than it was last year.
So I'm saying there's nothing you can pick apart on this team right now. It's getting boring. Take a break, come back.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I'd go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, the Wild, the Timberwolves, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins! Yep, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. For details, go to TicketKingOnline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
Take every step without hesitation. And anticipate your next move with certainty. Because our trusted advisors help you prepare for challenges specific to your business. Our focus is always on you, so your focus is always forward. Experience the power of being understood. RSM, Audit, Tax, and Consulting for the Middle Market.
You're watching CW-23.
Welcome back to the sports show. The U.S. Open was interesting at minimum today.
Well,
you didn't catch it, did you?
Mr. Ricey knows
I just wanted to give it
more
to you
about
first
the
as an
Open
option.
right
You know you like the ball first. I wanted to at least let you. You've declined. Patrick and Lou, take it away.
You got anything to say about the U.S. Open first, Sid? You got anything to say about the Open?
I watch the Open. The thing that surprises me is there's so many good young golfers.
Yeah.
Every different tournament has somebody else leading. Like that Spieth.
Spieth's pretty good, yeah.
Everybody thought he was going to be win every tournament.
Right, he's not.
Nobody's got more game than Dustin Johnson, though, Louis. He was hitting fairways 315 yards away. The way the ball was fantastic. They almost had themselves another huge controversy with the one-stroke penalty, but unfortunately for the USGA, he won by 4.
Okay, so why can't they just make the ruling right now and say either you cost you a stroke or it didn't? Just
They
like
could have, because they said they wanted to give Dustin a chance to review the tape and basically change his mind because he told them, he says, no, I don't feel I caused it to move. And they said, well, we'll let you see it going in there. They should have made the decision. Well, regardless of what you say, we're going to penalize you. Which, by the way, I'm getting tired of that rule because the greens are so fast and
the ball can move by itself.
The ball can move by itself. And they had one earlier in the day, and they said, well, the guy didn't cause it to move. Why didn't he cause it to move? And Dustin did. Even though Dustin, when he sold his club, it was beside the ball here. And then when he went behind the ball, he never put his club down, and the ball didn't move forward, it moved back towards him.
Yeah, but it didn't move when the club was back here. It moved when it was over here. So.
It's amazing
anyway, God, he
how
played
those
good.
guys can putt. They make some of the most impossible putts you ever seen. But it looks like it's wide open right now. There's nobody way out in front.
Oh, yeah, there are 4 guys that are way out in front.
What amazing.
You got 4 really good guys.
Is the Ryder Cup going to be real close and competitive? What do we
I think the U.S. should kill them.
Yeah,
should.
I think
do
it's
too.
really a mismatch.
I think so do
What do you like?
Lowry made it today.
Who?
Did he?
Yeah, he is Shane Lowry.
The Irish guy.
Yeah, he got his position.
The U.S. is going to have to choke to lose.
Yeah,
the U.S. has got like 8 great players, and they got 4.
Sid, that time now. Sit on Sid. Give us a thought on whatever it is that's up there.
Whatever it is, nothing much is going on in the sports. The Lynx are the big story. How many games are they going to win in a row? They're amazing. They're the best team we got of all the teams.
No, you got the women's hockey teams also.
Yeah,
is good
okay.
At the university.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. RSM. This is the power of being understood. This is RSM. BMW of Minnetonka. Choose from 60 certified pre-owned BMWs at BMW of Minnetonka. And Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Go to BobbyandStevesAutoWorld.com for huge savings on everything from convenience store items to everything under the hood of your car.